All right, good morning. We are here in chilly Weatherford, Texas. We are at Powerhouse Gym, owned by our good friend Martin and his wife Jennifer. And Joe, what are we gonna go over today?
Well, Martin's a buddy of ours, Genesis Jiu-Jitsu. He's a blue belt, trains in our morning class. Martin and his wife are the owner of Powerhouse Gym here. Very cool gym, as you're about to see. Martin also has law enforcement experience, served as a Marine for years, and has his own clothing line. Works for another defense contractor, I believe. So there's gonna be a lot of cool value to bring to the table here. Talking about jiu-jitsu, business ownership, gym, fitness, martial arts, all that good stuff here. So let's get on in there. Let's tour the facility and see what we got.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, here we go. We got the man himself, Martin Madrigal here, blue belt in our Genesis Jiu-Jitsu morning crew, former Marine, law enforcement experience, and owner of this awesome gym here in Weatherford, Powerhouse Gym here in Weatherford. And Martin also has his own clothing line, Humble Vaquero. So we're going to dive in. He's going to tell Austin and I a little bit about all that he's got going on here and walk us around the facility and see what we have going on. Let's do it.
Welcome, guys. So as soon as you come in, you can see you got this beautiful gym here that we think, not biased, but it's the best gym here in Buckley County. We got some Humble Vaquero merch here. So if you guys have seen it online but want to see what it looks like in person, you can absolutely show up to the gym. We got some hats here, we got some shirts here. If you span over here, we're partnered up with Nutrition Nation, which is right off the square. They got some other supplements here if you want some protein, some pre-workout, stuff like that.
Now, how do you explain the Rice Krispies treats?
This is a pre-workout that some of our members like to do. So
I was gonna say it's like
yeah.
a sweet treat after
it's
working
like, it's a
out.
quick little punch to get your day started.
Gotcha.
The Rice Krispies
Your,
there. We
your
got
morning fitness Rice Krispie treats, folks. Now, this company, Nutrition Nation, they're local.
yeah, local. They're right off the square here in Weatherford.
Okay. Yeah.
So we've been working with them for probably about a year now.
What's your favorite product out of all these?
I'd say probably the protein right here, the chocolate one. This one's pretty good right here.
What's the benefit of it?
That one I just like it because it's a quick little after workout.
Uh-huh.
You don't have time to like go home and eat. It's a quick little protein shake, mix it with your water, and then that takes care of that. And then for your pump, like if you don't like get caffeine in your pre-workout because you're working late at night, this is really good. It just kind of like gets a quick pump, open up some blood cells, gets you a good little workout without the caffeine, so you're not up all night because of the caffeine rush.
Okay. And guys, you can consider Martin to be a solid resource on this stuff here. Dude is freaking strong. Austin and I can tell you we grapple with him all the time, and dude is strong. Okay, so you can follow his advice for this stuff.
Yeah.
And then as for his Humble Vaquero clothing line, he also has rash guards and stuff for jiu-jitsu. I know a handful of the guys in our morning class have shown up rocking the Humble Vaquero stuff there.
Yeah.
So don't be trying to check that out as well if you're into jiu-jitsu. All right, man, you want to show us around the gym a little bit?
Sure,
Tell
let's
us
do
about
it.
it?
So when you come in here, it's an open facility. So you come in, it's an open area. We have our cardio equipment here. So, you know, you got your Stairmaster, you got your treadmills here, you got your ellipticals, depending on what your jam is. Everybody's jam is a little bit different. And then you got your assault bikes on this side right here. This is pretty high intense stuff here, so it's really good for like high intervals, get your heart rate up. Good for jiu-jitsu.
So you assault bike fans, you're taken care of here, okay?
Yep.
And let the record show the place smells clean.
Yeah, this is one of the cleanest gyms I've ever seen.
Cleanest gym in Parker County, I'm telling you.
Cleanest gym in Parker County, he says. You heard it here, folks.
I believe it.
And when you come in, you know, like say you're tight schedule and you only got 30 minutes to get a workout, and you can literally start from that first machine there and then go work your way down and then unlock that every part of your day and then go on about your day, because you know we're all busy. We only got a limited time a day to get your workout in.
Fitness question: which one of these machines will help me suck less in jiu-jitsu?
Probably just air squats.
I like that you had an answer for that.
Yeah. Then once you get over here, then you got your little jungle gym area. You got your accessories on that side. You can do your lat pull downs. You can do triceps. You know, whatever it is that you're working up for the day.
Okay.
And then the deeper you get into the gym, it kind of goes into the leg area. So we got some leg equipment here. Those right there are really good for jiu-jitsu, especially for closed guard. This is good for your legs. Hold the closed guard tight. And then you got your dumbbells for 150. Should be easy for you guys, 150 dumbbells. And you got your Smith machines on both sides there. And then Obviously, you got your bench press here, so when somebody's mounted on you, you can easily be able to push them off. So put
I
some
see
weight
you
on
guys
here.
have some weights that Austin can handle here as well.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, good.
these are
I
the
might get a
20
membership.
pounders, but they make them. You can make them feel like 80 if you want to. You know?
Right, help
So it's all in the head.
help them tone up for bikini season.
Yeah. Then you got the our turf area here, so you can do some sprints, some stretches. You got the sleds here. You can throw some plates on these bad boys and just run back and forth, pull them. You got the rope here in the middle here, so you can do some battle rope stuff. And then this over here is more of a leg section, and you got some back things over here. This is our newest addition here, the pendulum squat. People so far are loving this thing here. You know, it's very humbling. You can only need to throw on maybe a plate or two on there, as you can see, and it's good enough to work out the quads or hamstrings. You'll feel it definitely the next in the morning trying to get out of bed or going to
Yeah.
your car. You know?
I definitely want to point out just the layout of this gym. You walk in, everything's lined up nice and neat. It's a big loop, almost U-shape. You can get anything done. And like Martin was saying earlier, you start at the very front, you can work all the way to the back, get a whole workout in. And this turf area is awesome. It's just a well laid out gym. One of the best ones I've seen.
Nice.
You got your squat machines over there, you know, for your squats or, you know, do some deadlifts off the floor if you want to do that over there. And then you got your ab machines on this side assisted, or, you know, if you're just a piece that you do without any assistance. Then you head over here, you got your shoulder press, you got your incline chest press here, and then another area here you can work on your TRX stuff or kettlebells, wall balls, and such like that. And you got a little stepper here. You can do some box jumps. You don't got to worry about hitting your shins because I've done that plenty of times before. You're gonna, not
Yeah.
a good feeling. And then finish off over here in this section.
So you got the foam rollers. Those are more my speed.
Yep, foam rollers. And then we have male and female bathroom on both sides. And then as you get over here, there's a little bit more of another wall with humble Vaquero. Here's our logo, what we stand for. If you ever decide to come and show up here, you know, you can scan the QR code, purchase yourself a hoodie. We got some hoodies here, limited stock, because as you know, in Texas, it doesn't get cold for that very long. So we don't fold hoodies for that very long during the season. We have shirts, more shirts are to come. And then here's our little break area. And then we have a section over here that somebody was commenting they want to get some services done. I don't know if that'll be done today or later on in the future for anybody. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, lockers, day use only. Put your stuff in there. This place is pretty safe. We got camera system all over this place here.
This is
So
24/7 out or 24 hours, 7 days a week
correct.
gym,
If
right?
you remember 24/7, you just have a little barcode you have on your phone. You scan and get in and whatnot. But if it's during staff hours, you just come in, scan on the barcode inside, and do your thing for the day.
And let the record show, Martin's a pal here, and he's got a nice Genesis Jiu-Jitsu ad right here, Karen. If you're watching this, what a pal, right? What a pal. He is
Absolutely.
advertising Genesis, so maybe we'll get some fresh ones out
Yeah.
in the class one of these days from it.
Absolutely. Just one place trying to find other people to work with, other businesses, just like Rise and Clean with Joe, Austin. You know, because we're not a competition. We're just trying to provide a service for anybody and anybody that can come in here and work out.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. In spirit of the show, get to know. Now we've got to know a little bit about the facility itself and the flow of the gym. Now we're gonna get to know the owner, Martin, a little bit here. I mean, we've known Martin for a few years through the Jiu-Jitsu gym, but now we can dive a little bit more into his story, background, and what he's doing here with the gym and his other endeavors here. So, Martin, why don't you start from the beginning here, buddy, and tell us where are you from, dude?
Sure. So yeah, I mean, if you don't know me, Martin. So I was originally born and raised in California, East Bay area, kind of like maybe like an hour east of San Francisco. Grew up there until about I was 18, and then pretty much grew up, you know, working in the fields. My parents worked in the fields since they came here from Mexico many years ago. So obviously our goal, my goal and my brothers, was always to make sure that we excel in life and be a reason why they came here to make a positive change. So with that, you know, moving fast forward, you know, I would always see my dad working hard every single day, you know, no days off, working in the field, staying home. So we never had the opportunity to play in sports because we never had nobody to take us. And on top of that, I wasn't one to be in school as far as like grades. So a lot of people don't know this, but I barely even made it through high school. Thankfully, to the Marine Corps, so it motivated me to go back into summer school, night classes to be able to get my grades up because as a sophomore, I was already 3 years behind as a sophomore. because I was pretty much a DF kind of student. People may not know about that, but you know, it was pretty crazy. Whether it was I was just going to class and just being class clown, and I was just messing around, goofing around. I couldn't get into the whole school mindset. It just wasn't me. I couldn't just sit there and listen to somebody tell me what to do. Class homework, I just didn't like it, you
It's
know.
it's funny you say I didn't want anybody telling me what to do, and then
Goes
you
to
joined the Marine Corps.
Well, the number one place where you have no right other than just to say yes or no, sir.
Yeah, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
What caught your attention about the Marine Corps when you were young?
So, no- so it was September 11th. Obviously, I was in class. I still remember it. I was a freshman, and I was just sitting there, and then we pop up the TV. All of a sudden, we see the Twin Towers happen, and I'm just sitting there. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I never would have thought something this would happen. Being that young, I didn't know the extent of it and what it would cause for the years to come. But being that young, I was like, you know what, I want to join the military. So I told my friends that. All of them obviously were, are you crazy? You're stupid. Like, why are you gonna do that? You shouldn't do that. I'm like, no, because I was only 15 at the time. I couldn't join anyways. You had to be 17 with your parents' signature to join the military. So obviously I came home to my mom. She's like, "You crazy? You're not gonna go." She started crying. She's like, "There's no way in hell you're gonna go because you're Hispanic and they're gonna put you at the front of the line." And I was like, "That's just rumors because there's all these things that are made up through all this nonsense, you
Yeah.
know." I was like, "That's not true." So I didn't listen to my mom. I went to go talk to the recruiter, and my recruiter was like, essentially, "Hey, right now the way it looks like you're not gonna be able to join because you need to have a diploma." Back then you couldn't have a GED. You had to have an actual diploma to join the military. So if you want to join, you could get your shit together. My recruiter, he didn't mess around. He was a grunt. He was a recon, so he pretty much gave it to me how it was. He didn't lie to me at all. He told me the Marine Corps is gonna be the hardest thing you'll ever do. Boot camp is gonna suck. You're not gonna go where you want to go. Yes, we could sell you all this stuff all day, every day. Tell you you're gonna travel for free. You're gonna do all this, but at the
Your
end
wildest dream will come true.
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's gonna be rough. He's like, if you're willing to go through that, then this is the place to be. If not, you can walk out. You can go to the left or the right. Join the Navy. You can join the Army or the Coast Guard. They'll take you and they'll give you what you want, and you're gonna get what you want because it's a lot more different levels. And I'm like, sure. And I just like the uniform. The dress blues is badass. It's probably the best uniform out there.
No, it is the
Um,
best uniform out there,
so
without
I
a
mean,
doubt.
Coming from two
that
Marines,
yeah.
let the record show.
Yeah.
so that caught my eye. And then a couple of my friends, you know, they were already part of the pulley program, which is kind of like a program that they have for Marines. It's kind of like a delayed. It's like a program that you have with. I guess how would you explain? It's kind of like a program you sign up for within the services, and you go work out like twice a week. You go with actual guys that just graduated out of boot camp. So now, mind you, these guys are just coming fresh out of boot camp. They just want to slay you because they're like, "Oh, I'm a Marine. You're a civilian. You're nasty. You're disgusting."
They're
So
prepping you for boot
yeah,
camp.
so they're prepping you, putting you through the workouts.
Kind of breaking you
You,
down.
yeah, you start learning the chain of command. You know the rank structure. You start learning all this stuff kind of to prep you for what boot camp is. But even then, that's still not enough to what the reality of boot camp is. You know.
Yeah.
Did you regret it at all upon initially joining, or did you felt like you dive right in and fit right in?
Oh, there's plenty of times in boot camp where I was like, this shit is not for me.
What
You
company
know,
were you with
yeah.
in boot camp?
I was Bravo Company.
Oh, you were Bravo. I was
Yeah.
Lima.
Okay.
I was
yeah.
the year before you. I think I was the year before you. When did you go?
January 05.
Oh, I was way before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went August 02.
Okay. I don't think I was born
Grandpa Austin here, kicking it back.
yet.
Yeah.
I think I was probably maybe like a sophomore maybe at the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
think I was, I would have been a senior for 9/11. I
Okay.
was a senior.
Yeah, I was a
I remember.
freshman. But yeah, that's when it first started hitting me. I was like, I want to join the military. And obviously, everybody the whole time during high school was like, you shouldn't do it. You're dumb. Probably out of the people that I knew like closely, there's only two that actually went through in the military. They were seniors, and then I was a junior, so they left, and then they came back as freshly boot camp recruits. And I was like, dude, I want to do that. And then I saw them like go around, like talk to all the people around the school, and like they're getting all the attention. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, because that's badass. Like I've never
Yeah.
been part of something, and I want to be part of something that actually means something in life.
Yeah.
And then
They
later
carry
on,
themselves differently too.
exactly.
Yeah.
So fast forward that, I turned 17. I told my mama, hey, listen, I was like, now you can't really say a whole lot no because once I turn 18, like that's it. Like you can't say no. Like I'll sign the contract on my own because I'll be 18. And I was still 17. She's like, you know what? Me and your dad went back and forth, and if it's what you want and it's what you decide that you want to do in life, I can't keep you from it. and I'd rather us be okay with it, semi-okay. Obviously, it wasn't like they were
Yeah.
all in on
Not
it.
thrilled about it, but
Yeah,
accepting.
my dad was a little bit more kind of like, hey, you're about to be a man. If that's what you want to do, this is how you're gonna learn. So
Did he
he
have
was
military experience?
no military experience. So I'm the first out of anybody in my family to go in the military,
Interesting.
which is why there's a lot of pushback from my family
Yeah,
and
that
Yeah.
everybody
makes
like,
sense.
hey, don't do it, don't do it. But I was like, I want to do something on my own. So if I do fail, which wasn't an option, it would be totally on me. Because my parents were like, hey, we can go to college, we'll pay for it. But I'm thinking, I was like, I didn't do good in school already as it was. Why would I want to put you guys through this financial burden and then I don't go through
Yeah.
with it? Now I failed you guys, and now you guys are having to pay all this school because it's expensive, you know?
Dude, that's one way to look at it. Like my performance now is financially affecting
Yeah,
my parents, people I
yeah,
care about.
yeah,
Dude,
Yeah.
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 So I'll do something on my own. So I'll be responsible for my own actions. If it doesn't go through my way, then I'll just figure it out.
And how many years did you
Um,
serve for?
I did 4 years active duty, and then I was out for a year. And I missed it so much, I came back to the reserves.
Interesting.
So I did reserves for about 3 years, and then after that, then that was the end of my military contract time.
What did you miss about it?
I'd say probably the brotherhood and just understanding each other, where I can go to anybody and they know the shit that you go through. Because out here in the civilian world, it's hard to like talk to somebody and get close with somebody and just having a purpose, you know. Because when I got out, that was kind of one of the hardest things I dealt with was the transitioning from the military to the civilian world, which eventually would put me in law enforcement. Because once I got out, I was missing that high, I was missing that adrenaline rush, you know, that you get from a deployment,
Hmm.
from deploying, training, and you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if that could be your last day or not. Um, Luckily, I was blessed that it just wasn't my turn the 2 times I deployed. It wasn't the same thing for some of my close friends that I lost. But it's kind of like when you think about it, it's like you chase that adrenaline rush. It's like you want it. It's kind of like a fix. And I was missing that. So during that time of that transition, I wanted to seek that again. And there was a part of time where between the military and law enforcement, I was just completely lost. I don't know what I was going to do. I kept applying for law enforcement, and I just couldn't find that anywhere else because at that time, everybody wanted to be a cop. Back in California, you had thousands of applicants applying
Oh, so you
for.
went back home after the Marines.
Yes. Oh no,
You were in
I
Texas, yeah.
stayed local in Camp Pendleton because I was
Okay.
stationed in Camp Pendleton my last 2 years. And then my wife was already there. She had just flown in a month before I came back on my second deployment. So we kind of already started establishing our life there. And then when I was about to get out, I was like, hey, so I'm thinking about getting out. Like, what do you think? She's like, hey, I'm on board, whatever you want to do. The way I looked at it at the time was like, I'm married. If I stay in longer, like we're already gearing up to deploy again
Yeah.
within the next 4 months.
What year was this?
This was my first deployment was in '06. My second one was in '08. So when I came back in '08 in September, they were like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and start ramping up again training for deployment training in January because we're gonna deploy again in March. So essentially, it was only gonna be maybe a 5 to 6 month break and
Yeah.
then pump out again. This time to Afghanistan, sorry. So I've always wanted to go to Afghanistan. It was just a thing because I never went there. But that was in my earlier career when I was still young. I was still single. But then things change, you know, like as you become a family,
Yeah.
you have kids, you have a
Priorities
wife,
shift.
priorities change. So I can tell you that my first deployment was definitely different than my second one when it came as far as mentally. My first one, I didn't care. Like we were doing all kinds of shit. Like we're getting into stuff, and I didn't really care. It was like whatever. Like if it's my day, if it's my time to go, I'll go. My parents, it's gonna suck for them, but it's something that I signed up for that they know the responsibility that comes with it. But then the second time when I went, I was married, so things changed.
Yeah.
Now I have somebody at home that's kind of on me to come home.
Yeah.
So like every time I would go out on missions and stuff, like that was always on the back of my head. I was like, I need to come home. But sometimes things are inevitable. You can't control everything. So there's definitely a change mentally wise. Um, and then obviously then I got out, and then that second appointment when I came home, I remember I was sitting at home on the couch and I was just sitting there, and I just for no reason I just broke down crying. And then my wife was like, "Oh, maybe it's just because you're probably still thinking that you're out in war." Like, and I was like, "No," I was like, "I think I'll be okay." But fast forward to now and I think back, I was like, those were the first signs of PTS I could tell you
Yeah.
about. You know, I don't look at it as a syndrome because people say it's post-traumatic stress syndrome. To me, it's not a syndrome. It's just something that you have to find ways to deal with it, and you have to talk to people and seek counseling and seek medical attention because if not, those things will take over you in your life.
What's what would be
Um,
some of the biggest advice you would have for someone struggling with the post-traumatic stress from the military?
I would say the biggest thing is just make sure that you talk to somebody, talk to your family members, even though they might not understand you, but just being able to be vocal, and have that small circle that you can go to, like, which is why I say in the military, that's what you have, is like you have that small bond. So till this day, I have that small bond. They know who they are, but I can call them, they can text me, we can call each other, even though we're not in the same state, but we can call each other, like, hey man, I'm going through this, like I'm feeling this, I feel bad because something I did in the military or something that I should have done that could have prevented X, Y, and Z. And then we talk about it, and then we'll shed some tears because that's just part of life, how it is, to be able to get some of those emotions out. But just talk about it. But I don't see suicide as something that you should do as a last resort, because if you think about it, suicide is very selfish, to me, because yes, your problems may end, but now the problems have just begun for
Yeah.
you, for your family, your kids. So if I commit suicide, now my wife's got to deal without me being here. My son's got to deal without me being here. So now I just put a burden on them.
You're just passing the
And
pain on
yeah,
to somebody
exactly.
else.
And it will be 10 times more on them than it is what I'm dealing with. So if I can take care of myself, stay busy, work on my fitness, train jiu-jitsu, get put under pressure, things that I can work on myself,
Yeah.
talk to a psych doctor, not go on meds, because I'm not a believer when it comes to medication,
No,
because
they're mine, man.
the big pharma is pretty crazy when it comes to that. There's so many times that before I came out here, I had a big bin of just meds that they kept sending me and sending me. Did I take any of them? No. Only like pain meds for like my knees, because my body's pretty beat up, but I still do what I do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Spoken like a jiu-jitsu guy,
Yeah.
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Everything hurts, but I'm still gonna keep doing
Yeah,
this.
everything hurts. So I'm gonna get up in the
Yeah.
morning, go fight some strong men.
So
yeah.
you leave the Marine Corps, you leave the reserve, so you're out of the IRR, you're out of all that stuff now. You've done because it's total 8 years. Nobody knows. Like you gotta do 8 years. So you might have a 4-year enlistment, but you'll be in the IRR, with essentially just inactive reserves
Yeah.
for another 4. So you complete all that time. What sparks you guys moving out here? Because you're married at this point
Yes.
in California.
Mhm.
What sparks you guys moving to Weatherford, Texas?
So I guess between that time I got out, there's a whole year in there where I went to college. I got my bachelor's degree. That was when I was trying to get into law enforcement, so which took me about a year to get into law enforcement.
Okay.
So I did law enforcement for about 11 years. Everything was great. I would say up until maybe 2020, when that whole thing happened in 2020 with not only COVID and everything else that happened that year, then law enforcement took a big hit, where we became kind of like the number one enemy of the world, essentially. Where it's like, hey, law enforcement hates us, law enforcement sucks, this and that. So like obviously law enforcement took a dive. Whether it was because of one thing or another, like it just took a big hit. So then I started seeing the changes within our department and all around as well. When it came to supervision, they were kind of like being told like this is the way we got to do things, even though policy says this. And this is what you guys train for, but we got to start changing because of the way the culture is changing
Yeah.
outside of here. Um, so I didn't agree with a lot of things that were going on. Obviously, I kind of just sucked it up. I'm not one to argue with my superiors. I would always ask questions like, why are we doing it this way? And why are you giving me a hard time when policy says this? And if somebody's going to assault me, I shouldn't have to wait for them to hit me. Like, if I can see and I have the signs and I can tell when somebody's going to assault me, why should I have to wait for them to attack me? Like, then what's the whole purpose about me being law enforcement? I need to be proactive, not reactive when it comes to situations like that.
That's
So
funny
then,
because isn't Texas a shoot first state
yes,
like Florida?
yeah.
Yeah, that's weird that a regular citizen can exercise shoot first. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I see this person has a weapon in their hand. I need to stop them before they can even attempt to hurt me or my family.
Yeah.
But a police officer can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as Martin mentioned, a lot of recent shifts in the cultural perceptions of how police officers should basically pamper suspects and criminals in the street, and that really hampers their ability to protect themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I could not be a police officer.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, what kept me there the longest was pretty much the people I was working with.
Yeah.
I had amazing partners. Till this day, I keep in contact with a lot of them. We still send memes to each other. We still call each other. We keep up with what's going on in the world.
It's the power of the meme, man.
Yeah.
The power of the meme keeps so many
Yeah.
dudes together.
Yeah, like stuff that other people may seem is kind of like it's not funny. Like, why are you guys laughing? But for us, we just have such a dry humor,
Yeah.
especially in the military and everything like that. We have such a dry humor where like, we'll laugh over the stupidest things. Where most people are like, "That's not funny. That's kind of fucked up."
Yeah, you should be talking about it, let alone
But
laughing
you know,
about
our
it.
brains have like we were kind of, I guess, changed in boot camp. It kind of just changed us in the way that we see things, and
Of course.
you know, perspective changes us. Um, so yeah, so then I think probably the end of 2021, you know, we're like, hey, you know what, we need to get out of here because if I go to another department, it's gonna be the same thing. Like the way the culture's changed, it's gonna be the same thing here, at least in California.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll go to another state. So my wife had the genius idea to do this whole spreadsheet. She compared different states when it came to cost of living,
Holy
gas,
cow.
all these things like distance from our families. Because my family is all in California, hers is in Denver.
Oh wow.
So we're like, we don't want to live too far, but you know, so that way we can still get on the flight, and if an emergency happens, we can get there within a few hours. So some of the states she had were like, she had Colorado, she had Tennessee, she had Texas, Florida. Um, there's two other ones, and we pretty much compared everything, and then we just kind of saw like what was the one that checked more of the boxes, and it essentially just came down to Texas. It's one of the most veteran-friendly states that there is out there when
Yeah.
it comes to benefits and everything like that.
Yeah. It's closed now, though.
So-
By the way, there's no more vacancy here. You can't. They're not
No
letting
more
people
room,
move
sorry.
to Weatherford anymore or the surrounding area.
Yeah, so then early 2022, I believe, we came out here, just looking around all these areas around here, looking at houses, and just kind of like see if it was even something that we even liked, because it was going to be a complete 360 change from where we were at, kind of living more of a the city, where it's busy, houses everywhere, like the house that we had there, beautiful house, but it was just so cramped. Like our neighbors are so close to each
Yeah.
other. There's no space to breathe and move around essentially. We came out here, we loved it. Like we saw how quiet and calm, how everything is so slow. Um, People are so nice. Even till this day, I'm still not used to walking into a grocery store and people asking me how my day was. Like, what do I have going on for the rest of the day? I'm just like,
What's your angle?
I just want
Yeah.
to get something here, get out of here. But it's just the Texas way,
Yeah.
the lifestyle. People are very,
Strangers waving at you on the highway. Yeah.
Like
I
get
say
really-
highway, but like 51, like
Yeah.
driving. Like I don't know you, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna wave back.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
great area around here.
it's a way that you can that you know that you're welcome here. That it doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, or anything. But as soon as we saw that, we're like, we need to do this. So we put a bid on a house in January of 2022. We went back home, you know, told our friends and family like, oh, you guys aren't gonna do it. You guys are just saying that.
Dang.
But slowly after that, you know, we put a down payment, and then the house was just a lot at that point in 2022. So we built it out, everything, and then later on that summer, we moved out here, and we've been over here since
Heck
then.
yeah.
You've been happy here then?
Oh, absolutely.
Anything you miss about living back in California at all?
I'd say the Mexican food. Tex-Mex
Oh,
is
man.
it's not my thing.
That's a
but
contentious point.
yeah.
I didn't mean to get controversial.
We can talk about police officers,
I'm in over my head.
veterans, but we do not talk about Mexican food here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
California versus Texas.
I
I'm
mean,
not ready for this conversation.
Luckily, we also have In-N-Out, which is close by because I'm not a Whataburger guy either.
Oh my
So
God,
that's
you're
another
hitting the
thing.
controversy.
Martin, what the
Cut,
hell, man? I thought, I thought we were gonna have a
Yeah.
nice day
Yeah,
today.
yeah,
dude.
I know, right?
I'll probably catch shit for this later on the mats next week or something, you know. But
Yeah. All right, so you
Yeah.
guys move out here. You build a beautiful house. We were just talking earlier. You're actually pretty close to me. I think if you're off that road that you said, then I think you're probably 10 or 15 minutes away from
yeah,
me. But so you get here. You guys obviously didn't have the gym at that point.
no.
So what sparked? Was this a family thing, or you guys say we want to be business owners eventually? Was this a harebrained idea? You were at work one day, I'm like, oh, this is available. Let's do that.
Yeah. No, so like myself and my wife, we've been into fitness for forever, for like a long time. Since I was in high school, I would go to the gym. Sometimes I would have to walk like the 2 miles to get there, just to go work out. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that if I just go into the gym and I kind of like pretend like I knew what I was doing, I was going to get results.
Yeah.
That was back when like magazines were a big thing. So I would beg my mom to buy me a magazine. I'm like, hey, if I get this, I'm going to look like that. So obviously then I would go work, and then I would buy a supplement from GNC because that's when GNC was a thing, really.
Yeah.
And I would buy something. I'm like, I'm not getting the results. I'm like, maybe it's not this, maybe it's something else. So that's what kind of sparked it. So I kind of just carried that like fitness thing where I was always just trying to work out some way or the other. And then right before we left California, like we need to get involved into some sort of business because the way society is, you know, like you can't really live off of just your paycheck and retire off of your pension. You got to have something else, whether it's investment in stocks, whether it's, you know, real estate, whether it's owning a business. Like you got to have some sort of other income, at least one. You know, hopefully you can have at least two or three, which is what our goal is. But you can't just nowadays you can't just make it off of that one paycheck only when you retire. So we're like, well, we should own a gym, sometime down the road. Like we had a 5-year plan, kind of like this is what we kind of need to do, just based upon like what we've heard through other people, their experiences. Um, it just happened to me that we met the owner of one of the gyms out here. We talked, we had several meetings, we went back and forth. We became part owners of one facility out in Granbury. And then we exited out of that one. So then we were kind of just in limbo. My wife was currently training at the one that we are here now. And then they're like, hey, you know what? We're not going to be part of the fitness industry anymore. Like, we've been doing this for too long. We're done. But we're going to offer you guys the opportunity to become owners of this gym. So
Oh, so you guys
initially,
were actually working out here with
yeah,
no intention of
yeah,
gym ownership, and then
correct.
kind of landed in your lap.
Yeah, yeah. It just things
Ah,
kind of just started landing.
okay, I
the way
didn't
it
know
did.
that. Interesting.
So then obviously it took us by surprise because we weren't really ready yet. Like
Yeah.
we were looking at it probably 2 years, 3 years down the road. And they were like, man, like we started looking at the numbers and we're like, this is really going to be something that's going to really be really profitable, not only for us, but also for the community because to that point, there wasn't a gym around the area that is what it is now. Like the
Yeah.
cleanest gym, great equipment, the friendliest staff. So we're like, this could be something that we can make the community gym for everybody to come and take advantage of to become a better person for themselves.
So you saw the potential in this
Yeah, absolutely.
specific gym.
So then at that point, we're like, you know what, let's reach out to, a good friend of mine, Mario and Brittany. They're back in California. We're like, we need a little bit more support. And they're also into the fitness as well because it'll be hard for us to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll ask them like what they think about going into business together.
And honestly,
They're-
growing a business with someone is just more fun that way.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree?
absolutely. Yeah, so they were all about it too. So we had a few more meetings after that, signed the papers and everything. So March of 2025, officially we became owners of this facility here. So we run everything. We're not a franchise. We're a local owned business ran by veterans, law enforcement. So we do everything ourselves. So we do our own marketing. We do everything that comes to the members. We have our own personal training program that we offer here. So if you come in here, you can get treated like a family because we care about everybody that comes in here because we're here for you guys to become a better person, a better version of yourself. And with that being said, people may look at the name and they might shy away thinking it's like this big meathead type of gym like some other people might say.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like we're a community-based gym. You can come in here, you feel right at home. And if you don't know like a piece of equipment, you can ask anybody here. It doesn't even have to be one of the staff members, but any of the members that are here, you can ask them and they'll be glad to show you around, show you how to use a piece of equipment because that's the culture that we built here is the best and cleanest gym around the area with the friendliest staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed since we've been here for about an hour, maybe a little longer. It seems like every other person that walks through the door comes right to you, shakes your hand, says hello, catches up, and walks off. They do it with your wife as well.
Yeah.
That's I don't think I've seen that at any other gym. That's like martial arts gym,
Yes.
but not a weightlifting gym,
Yeah.
not a fitness gym like
So
this.
if someone listening to the show right now is interested in owning a gym of their own, what advice or tips would you have for them?
I would say the first thing is do it. But before you actually sign the papers, do your due diligence. Look at the numbers, look at the area. Obviously, if there's a gym and then there's another gym 2 miles down the road, that's probably not going to be something smart unless the gym that you're going to purchase or you're going to build, completely exceeds the expectations of the other gym down the road. But if you can see a potential for it, do it. Like you won't know until I actually do it because this gym here, like we just didn't know it was a complete risk that we took. And so far, it's been barely worth it. It's been obviously come with a lot of headaches, a lot of stress, a lot of long nights. As you guys know, business owners, you'll wake up one day, you'll look at your account like, oh, okay, cool. There's a little bit of money in there, and then the next day, like, where did it all go? Like,
Yeah.
it's gone
Payroll, bills,
payroll,
taxes.
you got payroll, you got rent, you got utilities. The list goes on and on and on and on.
You got people trying to rip your door off. They got to
Absolutely,
replace.
like this gym, like everybody just wants to get in one way or the other.
So badly. Force my way in.
Yeah.
So what was an unexpected pitfall for you? Like I'm sure walking into it, you anticipated there'd be a degree of problems, but what was a problem that caught you off guard or surprised you?
I would say the biggest thing is just knowing how to deal with like the systems when it comes to memberships, like how to sign them up, payroll, like you said, like the whole money thing. Because before that, we were like part owners, but it was like really, really behind the scenes.
Yeah.
We only saw things from the outside, but we didn't actually get into the nitty gritty of
Right. The back end.
the Excel spreadsheets, go to meetings, talk to lawyers, like all this other stuff that you don't hear about business owners talk about. Stuff that can either really, really burn you down to the ground or like you have no escape other than just to go bankrupt. but it's definitely something that took us by surprise, knowing like how much you need to be involved, especially for a new business, because we are still a new business. And we
Yeah, you guys
probably,
are what, coming up on a year now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
How many employees do you have here?
we have currently have 4 employees, we have
employees.
3 staff members, and we have 3 personal trainers.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is this your first time being in a position as an employer?
Yes.
How do you like it?
It's different, like I've been like in supervision, leadership roles before,
Right.
but as far as like owning a gym and then like having people that
Count on
depend
you
on
for their
you,
paycheck.
yeah, because they depend on us. It's not
Yes.
just like they're an employee. Like we depend on them just like they depend on us, and
Yes.
they're reliable to us. So they come first, and then obviously then rent. There's like all these little things that come in that are part of it too.
Yeah.
I'd say for
So
those of you entrepreneurs listening, what he just casually dropped is a big nugget, in my opinion. They come first, right? That's what
yeah,
you just said.
yeah,
Employees come first. If you're limited with your funds and you have to choose what you pay and don't pay your people, right? That's something I
Yeah.
believe
Yeah.
firmly in. Make
Yeah.
sure your people are paid. It's a privilege to work for someone. It's a privilege to have someone work for you. You have to take care of them, or somebody else will.
yeah. Without your staff, you don't have no business because you can't do it all. I mean, a lot of people say that you can be self-owned, self-made, whatever the case may be, but you still need somebody else, whether it's somebody else helping with paperwork, with social media, paying the bills. Like that's what I mostly do a lot is I go online and pay all the bills.
Yeah.
I come in here on my days off. I help clean. I do social media. So I'm trying to do 10 things with only a certain amount of hours a day, which can get, it's hard sometimes.
Oh,
This is a by the bootstraps effort by you and
Yeah.
your wife then.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Good.
We've never done it before, so we figure like the only way we're gonna learn is just head dive first, do it, attack it, and then we'll just figure it the fuck out. Like one of my friends, a good mentor of mine, Mark, who's out over in Dallas. That's his logo is figure it the f out. It's like when you come up to certain situations and your back is against the wall, that's when you'll realize I got to do this, this, and this to be able to get out of this.
Yeah.
But you won't know until you get into those situations.
That's
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Like you won't know. Like and then a lot of people can just buckle under pressure and just what, this is just it's not for me. For being a business owner, like there is no time for that. You don't have time to sit around and think about things or just give up because then you just give up on everything that you've built thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you can't succumb to the woe is me, especially if people counting on you for paychecks. Like,
Mm,
I have to fucking produce results. I
yeah,
have to make plays, or otherwise people aren't going to get paid.
yeah.
So
And
that's one of the similarities I find between martial arts and business ownership is that like you can't bullshit your way through it.
No.
Either you're closing deals or you're not. Either your jujitsu works or it doesn't. Either you're producing results or you're not. Like there's no, you can't bullshit your way or appear as if you have to. You do it or you do not.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
mhm, yeah.
Okay, and then you mentioned like having to learn the back end stuff like that. Like, what would you find was the most confusing or challenging for you? Like payroll, business taxes, creating scheduling, etc. Like, what
I
was the
mean,
challenge for you in that regard?
as a business owner, I mean, I'd say overall it's just taxes. I mean, like we get
God,
Uncle Sam just doesn't
Oh,
care,
they
man.
drink-
Don't even get
they
me
drink our
started.
blood.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta pay for payroll taxes, and
Payroll tax.
every 3 months
Ah,
we gotta pay back more taxes. So it's kind of like anything that you do make, Uncle Sam's gotta take a little bit of it. Whether it's something that would sell here inside the store, whether
Yes.
whatever it is, like Uncle Sam's gotta be right there taking a piece of it.
yes, they drink our blood.
Which is a lot of money when it comes down to it. And then as a business owner, you may know like there's a lot of money you gotta put back into taxes.
Yes.
Damn. I was not expecting that answer from you at
Yeah.
all. I thought you were gonna be like, I don't know, the real estate side of things, leasing and all that crap, not taxes. But I
Dude,
should have known.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Especially if you've made the mistake that I've made. Maybe it sounds like you were
By not
smarter on
paying
the front end.
taxes.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a mistake. All right, that was a feature.
deliberate.
That was a feature.
I'll
not a
do
bug.
it again.
Come get me, Uncle Sam, IRS. You know where I'm at. No, but it's understanding that the tax game. The mistake I made was just being sloppy with my books in the beginning,
Mm.
and then having to pay thousands of dollars down the road to have the CPA come through and clean up the books and get us
Like
caught
a
up.
full audit,
Right.
make sure you're square on the
Yes,
back
to
end.
get you cleaned up and
Oh,
build
man.
from there. So like that's something the advice I've given a lot of small business
Mhm.
owners is start with your books, prioritize your books. Making the reply I've gotten to that is, oh, I'm too small to worry about that. Start when you're small, getting your books in order 1st.
Mhm.
It's like I always use the like an allegory of chords, right? Like if you start adding more chords over time, and they're already tangled up, it just becomes more of a mess to untangle over time. But if you are deliberate and organized with your chords from the start, you never have to untangle that mess. unfortunately, I'm foolish and impatient, notoriously, and with our business, I let the cords get tangled up, so we had to pay a CPA a lot of money to untangle the mess of our finances and then put them in an orderly fashion, so then we can start operating like an adult, grown-up business
And
from
paying
that
taxes.
Yeah.
from that point and pretend to pay taxes, or at least claim to on camera.
Yeah, because it's thousands of dollars that you have to pay back, especially then you miss it too, because it's not like somebody comes knocking on your door like, hey, you got to pay your taxes. Like you don't get a notification in the mail. Hey, you got to pay your taxes. It's something that you got to have scheduled on your phone, so that when you go in there, you submit everything to the Texas website, whatever, and you submit everything on there. So it's definitely something that's hard too,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I just pay a CPA to make it all go away, basically. Just email me, give me a list of what you need from me, send it. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Mhm.
It's kind of
That's probably how I would be.
find a good CPA. Find a good CPA if you're a business owner
Yeah.
before you think you need it.
Yeah.
Once you find them, make sure you keep them.
Yes.
So
yes.
you got the gym now, almost a year,
Mhm.
but then you also springboarded into the apparel company,
Yeah.
Vaquero.
Yeah.
And what sparked that?
So that goes back to 2024 summer. Way a little bit before that, you know, my good friend of mine, Mario, which we started together. You know, we had always seen all these companies that are out there with like lifestyle brand companies, whether it's like apparel, like shirts, hats, whatever, but they all kind of just geared towards a certain side, a certain color, I guess if you may say,
Yeah.
of things, you know. And for us, we're kind of like, we need to have something that everybody can find something that they can attach to, something that's for them, you know. So like we're like, we want something that can be something for that hardworking individual that wakes up every single day, regardless of the shit that they're going through. Because if you think of a cowboy, like we're not cowboys, and we've said from day one we are not cowboys, even though we do have a vaquero here, we do have a Cowboys logo here. But if you think about a cowboy, if it's snowing or it's raining outside, they still have to wake up and go outside and provide for the stock. They still have to take care of their livestock, because if their livestock is not taken care of, it's going to die off, and now their family doesn't get to eat. Their business is going to shut down, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So that's the way
They
we
lost their
look.
purpose.
Yeah.
By not handling their purpose, they
Yeah.
lose their purpose.
So that's the way we looked at it. We're like, okay, well, how about humble Vaquero? Because humble just means that you don't have to be so loud about everything that you do. You don't have to be flashy. Like, yeah, you can let people nervous so often. Like, hey, look at this is a big goal that we just accomplished. Like, we're now in this location. We just got this and this, because people can see that as motivation for them to do something for themselves.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be arrogant about it. So we thought about the name Humble Vaquero. There's a couple other ones that were going back and forth, and obviously it took us a little bit to get the logo going on. You know, we got our first logo, you know, we got our website running, and then things started going a little bit, and obviously, but then like any other business too, it's up and down, it's up and down. So then we started adding some hats, some shirts. Initially, we were kind of having to drive far to get everything done, so everything is done locally. We're not outsourcing overseas like a lot of companies do. Everything is local. So we go pick up our stuff at a warehouse. We look at the product there. We look at the hats, at the blanks, and then we'll take them over to our own embroidery, and we'll look at them and make sure everything is good to go when it comes to the threads, the logo, before they're mass produced. I wouldn't even say mass produced because we're not making thousands of products yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's anywhere between 50 to 60 of a certain item, and then once that sells, it goes right back into the business itself. Like we haven't kept anything from the business.
Yeah.
It all goes back in, whether to get better quality hats, different quality shirts, because there's so much that we've learned when it comes to thread counts, quality of shirts, quality of the hats. You know, you can get a $3 hat, but then it's going to be a $3 hat that you're paying for.
Disintegrate within
Yeah,
months.
yeah, and it's not going to last as long. Where you can get a $10 hat, put a sick ass logo on it, like our Humble Vaquero logo on it, and now it's gonna last for a lot longer, because you know, it's the product that we want to deliver, something that I would want to buy, and it's something that I would want to stand for.
So to you, the notion of the vaquero represents accomplishing purpose or mission despite adversity.
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And then not being braggadocious about it.
Yeah.
Humble side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how far do you see that going? Like, you guys can make jeans. You guys gonna
Yeah, I mean,
Go
there's a
full
lot of
taco?
things that we want to do.
get a boot barn deal?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude, that would be awesome.
yeah,
That would be
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we got to get in contact with like local companies that carry Western wear, go there, because we see some of these logos and some of like what they represent is just a name, you know, but like there's nothing to it. It doesn't represent anything that we
Yeah.
see. Whereas Humble Vaquero, when you read our logo and what it stands for, like it actually means something for that person that gets up every day and works hard and continues to go through it. You know, it doesn't matter the walk of life that you come from. It doesn't matter what you believe in. But if you're one that truly wakes up every Sunday and continues to work hard even when shit gets hard, then that's what humble Vaquero is about.
You're a humble Vaquero
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you are. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you are.
Okay.
I've known you for a while, man. I don't think I've ever heard you brag or say anything out of pocket, and just like you talk about some Marine jokes every now and
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely humility is definitely one of your strong suits for
And
sure.
for the entrepreneurial audience, I would say another thing that is worth bringing up that Martin's doing here is having multiple avenues of income and then crossing streams where he can, right? Because here's his gym where he has monetization, selling products, has his clothing line also available at his gym. So he's able to cross streams and use one avenue of income to bring in another. So like maybe he could bring in, sell Humble Vaquero merchandise to somebody and help bring them into the gym. People are already at his gym. They see the merchandise. They might purchase that on the way out. They see those really cool Rice Krispie treats or these
Back to the Rice Krispie
back to the Rice
treats.
Krispie treats or these energy drinks.
I
They
think
can
you
sell
want
them.
one. I think you want one. We'll get you one.
I don't, but I do. I don't know. Maybe I'll test Noemi on it or something and see what she says. I haven't had a Rice Krispie treat in years. It sounds awful.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
All right, so that's kind of like see how far you can take the
Yeah.
Vaquero line,
yeah.
but then with the gym, like you guys permanently gonna be planted here? You guys want to branch off?
I mean, like I tell people like all the time, like nothing is permanent, you know, because I get messages and people comment all the time, like, oh, you know, like it's not that good there, like you know, it's not gonna be like it is how it is. I'm like, yeah, nothing is permanent, you know,
Yeah.
this is not permanent. Like we're not here permanent.
Right.
You kind of our goal is to eventually expand the gym even bigger to what it is, whether it's here, whether it's somewhere else. Like our goal is to continue and just keep building more, even if it's not this gym alone, is just have another gym and just continue to add more
Yeah.
to more value to the community.
So growth,
Capitalize on opportunities. Yeah.
so growth is on the mind for Powerhouse.
Absolutely,
Nice.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then what's next for Humble Vaquero? Any new products or?
Yeah, so right now we're working more on some more t-shirts. We just released our current hats, which is this one here. This one here is a water resistant one, which people
Nice.
right now are loving. So like
I like that color.
if you're sweaty and stuff, you can dribble some water out there and it's just gonna fall right off, you know.
So it's a good hat for me then.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys see me how I am on the mat.
Yeah,
sometimes.
And then that one, this one here is more of a flat bill. So it's I can reach my short arms over there. This one's got a 3D logo on it, which is pretty cool. People have been asking for a flat bill type. It's got a 3D logo on there, which is kind of like a low, serene, humble type of logo. If you kind of see it, kind of don't. You know, depends
Yeah.
how good you look at it,
Mhm.
what angle you get it.
Yeah,
You can see it there.
dude, I like that. We're not gonna be able to capture that on the camera.
No,
but that's awesome.
But trust us, it looks cool.
Yeah, we got our camel one up there, which is one of our number one sellers.
I don't see anything up there.
Yeah, and then we got our hoodies here. We have a brown one, and then we also have a.
Dude, I'm gonna snag that brown one before I leave.
Um,
I've been eyeballing that.
and these are obviously being here in Texas. This is only temporary for the winter because it doesn't get cold here for that very
Yeah.
long.
That's cold enough for me.
We'll probably
I'm
get.
freezing.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
might take two.
We'll
When
pro-
we were talking outside doing the intro, he might take two. today.
yeah.
How much do your hoodies go for?
Right now we have a gym sale for these ones, so this is the price you can only get here when you come to the gym for $45 online. They're a little bit more pricier because you got to consider shipping,
Of course.
going to the shipping place and stuff like that, so it costs a little bit more. But here, if you get it here, you get a discounted price. Same with our shirts and
So
hats as
if
well.
someone is
Yeah.
not local and they want to purchase some Humble Vaquero merchandise, their website.
Yeah, you can just Google Humble Vaquero. We're the only one that's out there named that like that. We have a Shopify website on there. We have limited stock of hoodies online. So this is our in-store line here, and we also have some more online, more hats. You can buy these ones online. We'll ship them out to you usually within 2 to 3 business days, depending what day you order it. Same thing with our shirts too. We're going to be dropping some more shirts. This was our number one seller here. But yeah, you know, check us out on Humble Vaquero. Our IG also, we're also on Instagram and Facebook, Humble Vaquero. Just Google it. We'll pop up right up. We got our images there. There's nobody else like us, and check us out.
Yeah, like I said, he's got rash guard for jiu-jitsu as
Yep.
well. A few of our morning class guys are showing up wearing the Humble Vaquero merchandise, so
Mhm.
that's cool to see as well. Homies
Yeah.
supporting homies.
Yeah.
And on the note of jiu-jitsu, how did you get into it, man?
Ooh, so yeah, that goes back to I believe it's 2020 now, right before the shutdown, or late 2019. Obviously I was still in law enforcement, so at that time I was still also going through some PTS stuff, where you know I wasn't sleeping well, you know, like all these signs were there. And for the longest time, my wife would tell me like, you need to go see somebody, you need to go see somebody because you have all these nightmares. I'm like, no, I'll be fine. You know, okay, my ego was too big for
Yeah.
going.
Classic
Yeah,
men.
of course, you know. So I finally went in, talked to the wizard, like we like to call him the Marine Corps. Went to go talk to the wizard.
Yeah.
You know, had some pretty good sessions with them. And then being in law enforcement, you know, I was like, I started seeing all these videos pop up of like, you know, law enforcement officers either getting manhandled or just not turning out so well. So I was like, what can I do to not be that person online, you know, being exposed like that way, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't want to get highlight reeled
Because
by a
I can
civilian.
say like, oh, I go to the gym and I work out, but that's not really going to do nothing when it comes to strength. Like we know well that you can be the strongest person in the gym, but if you can't train, whether it be some sort of boxing, stand up, or ground game, wrestling, or jiu-jitsu, like the game is over.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, he's like, hey, you should come check out a class. So I went in, I was like, dude, this shit sucks. I need to think about this, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how am I getting smashed by a team that
Yeah.
is half my
It's
size.
humbling.
Yes, and then I was like, but I was like, and then I went back again, and then I started seeing it kind of translate to my mental aspect, where I was like, you know what, like this is kind of also helping my mental aspect because now my brain is also having to think about it, kind of like a chess game, you
Yeah.
know. So every time I was going to jiu-jitsu, I was trying to think like, what can I do here to counter what he's gonna probably be doing? So my brain after that, it still kind of was thinking about a jiu-jitsu lifestyle. So then I wasn't sitting at home trying to like think about what not to think when it comes to negative things as far as like PTSD,
Hmm.
symptoms and stuff like that. And then shortly after that, I got a back injury, so that put me out. So I had to get a cortisone shot. I was on light duty for maybe about a month at work because I couldn't do anything. Like I was literally having to sit on my car, either tilted this way, tilted that
Hmm.
way. Come to find out, I had a pretty bad herniated disc where
Oh man.
the disc currently now it's like pushed into my spine, pretty much like this. So it's pretty nasty. Um, but then I got a cortisone shot, so it kind of went away. My doctor was like, "Hey, you're still too young because if you get a surgery now, it's just gonna cause way more issues down the road because then it's gonna be your hips, and it's gonna be your knees, and it's gonna be your ankles. So it's just gonna cause more issues. So if you can sustain with the cortisone shot and do some stretching and stuff like that, then try to do that." So I did that, and then I got back into jiu-jitsu again after maybe like a 2 month hiatus. Um, and I just noticed that when I wouldn't train for more than 3 days,
Hmm.
my body just kind of like felt like in pain
Yeah.
because I wasn't moving the joints. As you know, in jiu-jitsu, you get put in these positions that you wouldn't anything else. Like you
Yeah.
know, you're back flipping, your neck is on the ground facing down, and you're facing this way. Just all these crazy movements. So I think that pretty much helped me stay till this point, continue to train consistently, along with obviously eating well for most of the time, maybe like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Weekends I kind of just forget about everything,
Yeah.
and then doing my regular gym workouts. But mainly jiu-jitsu was mainly because of my PTS I was dealing with, being in law enforcement, and then just keeping my body as young as I can, you know, to outlive many years to come.
Yeah.
That's what I've told so many people is jujitsu's ruined any other cardio for me
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you can get on a treadmill and run for an hour.
yeah,
You're just on a treadmill running for an hour.
yeah,
Listening to music, whatever, is one thing, but jujitsu is like people always say
Engaging.
it's like physical chess, but at the same time, like that's all you can think about at that time. During
mm,
that round, that's all you can think about. It's like I used to run all the time. I could go run right now. My mind just wanders, man.
yeah,
Just wanders into some things.
yeah,
But with jujitsu, it's just like, nope, don't wanna get choked today.
yeah,
Nope,
yeah,
can't
yeah,
let Joe rip my feet off today. So that's all I'm
yeah.
thinking about.
Yeah, it's like the gym. I can come and work out. I just don't get that same satisfaction because I'm either looking at the TV, looking on my phone, you know, looking around what's going on
Oh yeah,
here.
you also
Whereas,
got responsibilities there
yeah,
too. You
yeah.
gotta keep
So
an
I'm
eye out
always
for.
looking around here. Whereas, like
Of
you
course.
said in the gym, it's like on the mats. It's the mats for that 1 hour and a half or however long it is that the class is for. That's all it is. My phone is away. It's put away.
Yeah,
I don't have nothing else going through my head other than just surviving and just making sure I don't choke out and wake up and
For
I
that,
don't know what's going
for
on. You
that
know?
hour and a half, you just feel like you're on a whole nother
Yeah.
have you
world.
been choked out before?
No, I've
No,
been
really?
close. Like people think that it's weird, but I always try to put myself like the closest as I can, where I start feeling, you start hearing like everything goes faint,
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts
start
closing
feeling
in.
it, and
Yeah.
then I tap, you know, because I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know what my reaction is gonna be like,
Yeah,
so I'll take it to that level where I'm about to pass out, but then I'll just tap, you know.
Yeah. Mark's got a tough
Yeah,
neck. Do you know if you ever
yeah,
spent
man.
much
You've
time
gotten a
choking?
lot tougher, dude. The
Yeah.
last 6 months, you've gotten a lot tougher.
For
yeah.
That is for sure.
Thanks.
And you know, it's interesting because I've talked to so many guys who have military experience who are on the mat and say that it has helped them work through some things, the post-traumatic stress they're dealing with or whatever, and they always credit jujitsu for kind of helping them work through that, having a place to be, and that it simulates that sense of brotherhood
Mhm.
that they were missing from the military as well.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's awesome what happens afterwards. People just chatting. I mean, there's
Yeah.
like this buildup of adrenaline, an adrenaline release, a dump, a challenge. Like, oh
Mhm.
man, you got me good on that. It's a good community to be involved in. That's for sure.
I mean, it's all different kinds of lifestyles. I mean, you got people that are probably barbers, that are mechanics, that work in the office. You can see somebody walking down the road, like, that you don't know that they train, but, they could kick your ass on the mats. They could kick your ass anywhere, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty fun sport. It's definitely positive. If anything, you may get injured for a little bit, but then you just come back and, you
Yeah.
deal with it,
Yeah.
And
It all
Martin
goes
came
good.
to us as what, a 2-stripe white belt?
I think so, yeah.
2 or 3-stripe white belt,
Yeah.
something like that. How long you been a blue belt
Maybe like a couple months, I think.
now?
I don't know. I don't keep track. I just keep showing up whenever I can and just, keep moving that needle forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it feels like it's just stuck there and like I can't just get from that place. But,
Yeah.
when you roll with somebody that you haven't rolled for a while until I do, like, what happened? Like, you started training more? I was like, no, it's just been kind of consistent. The biggest thing is just consistency.
Yeah.
And that's the way I see it.
Well, Joe and I were talking about this too. Like, we got, our morning class. That's kind of like all of our barometer of where we're at, right? But
Yeah.
everybody's kind of
Yes.
going up together.
Yeah.
I've been going to other gyms just for funsies, and it's pretty eye-opening, like really eye-opening. I don't want to crap on anybody's gym.
Of course.
But, there's really good gyms out there. We've got some killer blue belts, but it's also really good to see like, oh, that's where our blue belts are at. That's where our purple belts are at. That's
Yes.
where I'm at. I actually feel a little better now leaving this gym.
Yeah.
Now I feel really terrible leaving this other gym. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've been doing for all this time, but it's just hit or miss, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because, you sit around up to the mats and you chit chat, and then some of the guys are coming, man, like, I don't feel like I'm progressing.
Yeah.
Like, I tell them, I was like, the reason why you don't see it is because we go against each other every single day. So we're like this. So
Yes.
you don't see the progression. But then say you go somewhere to an open mat or whatever, then you'll kind of see where you're at. And then if you don't see that person for maybe a few months and you go back and train with them, that's where you can kind of see the
Yeah.
progression. Or if you compete, you kind of see how you progress there. But because you train with each other every single day, you kind of know each other's games. Like I know with Joe, I can't allow my legs or my neck to get exposed because it's not going to be a good day. With Austin, his pressure is just like, he makes it feel like he's like 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was like,
And
what's
that
going on here?
Freaking head and arm choke, man.
Yeah,
It's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
just, I love it.
everybody has their own unique game, so you kind of like know what to do, what not to do, or
Yeah.
anywhere else. Like, you don't know. It's a fresh new person, and you don't know what their game is.
Yeah.
But as to Martin's point about going to other gyms and kind of seeing where you're at a little bit, well, a group of us from our morning class went to another gym here recently, and I didn't have one of the rounds. I didn't have a partner, so I was walking around kind of checking on our guys, seeing how they're doing against their guys. I was walking by just as Martin was applying a telephone lock to one of the guys there. I could see him, like, I could see the guy's face, like, trying so hard to fight it, and Martin's gradually pushing. I'm like, ooh, like,
Yeah, it's awesome seeing the progress of the gym. That's for sure.
yeah. And then that's where your grand rivalry / somewhat hetero romance with Cameron began too.
Oh yeah.
Somewhat hetero.
That's where the saga of the toe bite began.
Oh, dude, I love Cam.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
So, you've been a blue belt for a while now. We are looking at promotions coming up soon. You are on my list to review here. What do you think you're missing to get the purple belt? Or what do you think is something you could work on to go to the next level, or that you want to focus on to improve your game?
I would say probably just putting submissions together, and not just accepting the fact that if I felt one submission and then my second one is just not there, and then kind of accepting that.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much chaining multiple submissions into one. Or if I get out of submission, how can I react to that and then get my own submission and get into that position?
So flowing from one attack to the
yeah,
next, you feel like
yeah,
you
yeah.
need to work on.
Yeah, because when it comes to like my guard stuff like that, it's not excellent. It's not world class level. It's definitely not what it was when I first started. But I can see my guard game is a lot better when it comes to my open guard too, passing guard, depending on who the person is. Obviously, when it comes to you guys, I'm not at that level yet.
Yeah, but your passing has gotten really good.
Yeah,
been
so
watching.
it's just mainly just chaining up those submissions and continue to chase it after.
Yeah.
It,
And like I said, your defense has evolved significantly.
Mhm.
When you first started with us, I could pretty much put a submission on Will at Martin, and now it's like I have to work for it, like 3 to 5 attacks or something like that.
Yeah.
But so his defense has definitely evolved in a lot of ways there as well. And so how long have you been at Genesis now? 3+ years?
Since 2022 now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I
doesn't
feel like
seem-
just yesterday you were
yeah.
that fresh-faced, humble Vaquero wearing a white belt.
Yeah. Since 2022, I mean, it's gone by pretty quick. I mean, we're already 2026 now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
damn.
what's your perception, Coach Austin? You think this guy's ready for purple or what?
Yeah, I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on my list, guys. He's on my list.
Hey, I'm in no rush either.
That's how I was with my whole.
Yeah.
Like I never really cared about belts. I've been to several gyms, like a committed member of several gyms across the states, to where you always got the one guy who's chasing the belt, and
Of course.
it seems to be the guy who's not ready for that belt, who wants the belt.
Yeah,
the most.
usually.
But after purple, I stopped really not being interested in it because I realized at purple you should be able to reach out and touch a black belt every now and then.
Yeah.
Even if it's like your signature move and it's kind of a new black belt, or you catch a black belt sleeping. As a purple belt, you should be catching black belts. A brown belt, I mean, that's just
Yeah.
like brown and black to me are like, if someone comes to the gym like I'm a brown belt, like
Yeah.
this could go any
Yeah.
way. So
So for me, one of the biggest indicators of what makes someone ready for purple belt over blue belt is if they at least have an idea of the majority of the moves. Right? Like you're not looking at a move and be like, wow, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Maybe there's variations or tactics or tips you haven't seen before. But a purple belt essentially is a very unrefined black belt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like if you can look at the majority of jiu-jitsu moves, then you're like, all right, I at least have some knowledge of how to apply and how to defend. And to me, that's where you're beginning to evolve into that purple belt level.
it's funny you mentioned chaining as a purple. I just watched some random reel on whatever platform it was, purple belt, black belt, and absolute in the gi. Holy cow, man! This purple belt was non-stop. They're similar size. It was one attack after another attack after another attack after a sweep after another attack. And black, I honestly think that black belt kind of just started on his heels. He's probably just like, all right, purple belt, let's see what happens. Slap bump,
your
here
guard
we go. Let's see, yeah. He let his guard down, and dude, this purple belt just mauled.
Ate
this
him up.
dude. Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people don't understand too is like how much it takes on a toll on your cardio too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can say, I'm gonna chain 3 or 4 or 5 things together, but when you think about it, like just doing one move takes out so much cardio. It takes out so much battery life out of you. To continue to do it over and over and over again, like in a competition round, like it's freaking hard. It's hard.
And that's where, evolving even further comes to knowing how to do the attacks without expending so much energy. So you kind of relax and be like, I can rotate to these 5 to 7 attacks all day until you slip up and let me get one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just lazily pin someone and switch to this, switch to that, switch to that. Like, I don't even know what I want. Once you make a mistake, I'll pick something.
Yeah. All right. Well, Martin, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate it. This gym is absolutely beautiful here. It's super welcoming, super nice, well organized. I mean, when he says it's the friendliest place and the cleanest place around, I definitely can concur with that.
Yeah, as the owner of a cleaning company, I give it the stamp, the rising clean stamp of approval. Smells clean, looks clean in here. I had some handsome stud wash the windows out here a few months ago.
Yeah.
Some mysterious handsome guy.
Some curly-haired handsome guy.
Yeah, we'll go with that too. But here,
Rising clean.
Yeah.
But here in Weatherford, Powerhouse Gym in Weatherford, Humble Vaquero, humblevaquero.com.
Correct.
Humblevaquero.com. And then if you ever want to meet the man himself here, come on down to the Powerhouse Gym with Genesis Jiu-Jitsu. We hang out there a lot and talk a lot of shit and have a good time. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I just want to say thank you guys for inviting me on this. I feel truly blessed that somebody will actually be like, hey, I think you're cool enough to put me on a podcast and talk
definitely.
about your life. Even if it comes down to me starting off working on the fields to everything I went through in the military, law enforcement, and now here we are today sitting on this couch that I might fall asleep on it later. I don't know.
It's a nice
It's
couch.
comfy,
I could sleep here for sure.
But here we are. But like Joe said and Austin said, come check us out, Powerhouse Gym Weatherford. We currently have a great sale going on. No activation fee for our 12-month agreement. And for the females out there, we currently have a promotion that's a free 1-year training and nutrition, which is about almost a $4,000 saving that we're giving away for free. I'm not going to be the one doing it. It's going to be my wife and Coach Danny who are going to be doing the training and nutrition for you. So if you're a female and you would like a free 1-year actual transformation, I would definitely come in here, check us out, apply. We have applications. We currently have somebody over here filling one out right now, and get yourself, get you to that level that you've always wanted to be at, and be a better person of yourself, be a better version of yourself.
Awesome, man. Appreciate you having us out to hang out. Usual podcast outro stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. Share, help get Martin's business out there. We're also building our Discord community. There'll be a link in the description below. Join that, hang out with us, catch updates on other interviews, shows we're going to be doing. and other projects that we're putting out here. So with Joe and Austin with Get to Know here, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
See you.